Moving to Dallas and several dreams that I have interpreted for myself that also propelled me into making that decision. There will probably be several videos that I make about my transition and my move to Dallas. I have lived in Houston from Sunnyside in the southwest side of Houston, growing up all my life. I'm 42 years old and I just moved here about a year ago-ish. And I'm going to tell you a little bit about that transition and some dreams that I had that also propelled me into that decision. When I was 7 years old, we came up here as a family. I saw some hills and I'm like, I'm coming to move here. And that was when I was 7. But when I got divorced 12 years ago, I decided to start coming up here with my 2 kids. We would come to Great Wolf Lodge and we would just drive up here, just me and my small kids. They were very young at that time. And we would come here often. I brought my mom up here for her 70th birthday when all our family and friends are there, but we're coming to Dallas, right? And then 2 years ago, my father passed. And that is when I said, okay, you know what? It's time for a brand new start, fresh new energy, a brand new life. And so I moved to Dallas. But I also had several dreams leading up to that. And this one is really important. It applies to anybody. When you are surrounded by certain people, family, friends, it doesn't matter, and they have you in this box and you want to spread your wings, sometimes you have to change zip codes. So listen, we were all in a car and I was in a car with family and friends, people that I've known all my life. And I see their specific faces, all love. That's a song on my album, my other playlist, Nothing in My Heart But Love For You. So we were all in the car and the roof of the car started to like cave in a little bit. It just started to lower. And everybody was fine with it. They were still, bumping to the music. I was in the back seat and I'm like, guys, the roof is like caving in. It's like getting lower and lower. And they were fine with that. But I couldn't breathe and I felt suffocated. I felt like I was literally in a box. And so I found a way to stick my head out the window and I looked up at the sky and it was like I heard God say, you've heard the sky's the limit, but it's beyond that. The limit is even beyond the sky. But you have to get out of this environment. You have to get away from certain mindsets, certain people, certain things. And so then that's how I knew that I was supposed to move here. I've always known that. And I've been here and didn't even remember I've been here. I also came here several times for my first book, Let's Talk It Out. Churches would buy the book in bulk and they would have it for their women's group. And I would come here and do book signings in stores and things like that. So I've always wanted to be here. But when my father passed again, that's when I really was like, okay, it's time. Also, there are 2 other dreams that I might say for the book or I might do for another video. So when it's time for you to expand, people around you may be okay with where they are. They may even be okay with the bar lowering. They don't care. They're fine with it. Oh, do I want to share this other dream? I manifested an entire move. I'm talking about my whole entire life packed up in one truck and we moved here. Now me, I'm used to just doing things like, I'm going to go do this. And then I just do it and I manifested it. And so I manifested an entire move, my entire life. And my kids had a choice. I'm like, y'all are going to get in this truck or y'all going to stay here. All their family, friends, their whole life was back there. They decided to hop their little butts in this truck. And my uncle, he was in one of the dreams. And me and these people, family, friends, all these people, we were all in this car. And he called me and he was like, are you ready to come home yet? I was like, oh my God, yes. I was like, oh my God, yes. I'm in a sunken place. No, just kidding. But I was like, yes, I'm ready. And so I did. I manifested an entire move from Houston to Dallas in a span of, I made my choice November. And then in a few months I was here. In that January, I was here. And I manifested an entire move. I'm talking about 42 years old, all my life down there and just, I'm leaving. And I came and I spied out the land first. I came here, I think it was that Thanksgiving. And I was like, I'm gonna live there. And I'm going to be doing this over there. And I'm gonna call them about this. And lo and behold, it all unfolded within 2 months. And I was here in January of last year. So I might get more into the details of that manifestation of how I manifested a whole entire move. But it's just like anything. You decide, you set your intention, and you don't let anything determine if that's going to happen or not. You have the end goal in mind, and that's just on period. That's just done. I could tell you so many manifestation stories. I might just do like a series of so many manifestation stories that I've done since I was like 15. I manifested my first vehicle. I said what year it was going to be. They were all laughing at me, telling me that I'm not going to get it, making fun of me because of the hoopty I was driving. And when I told them, okay, in 6 months, this is what I'm going to have by this date, and I pulled up in a brand new 1998 Ford Explorer champagne color with the red pinstripe on the side, CD player, cassette player, with the grocery pullback net in the back. I had it specifically the way that I wanted it. And in 6 months, I manifested that at 18. And they were all laughing and joking at first until they were riding in it to the beach for graduation. But I'm not gonna talk about that. I love y'all. But I may do a series on manifesting because I am a master manifester. When I say I'm gonna do something, look at these right here. My producer, Jim, I told him 6 months, this is going to be done. And this is what I want the cover to look like when I talk to my stylist. Oh yeah, this is a face collab with Farrah Styles Me. Go follow her, my daughter. We collabed on this look today. She's doing her thing, so I let her, put her skills to use on my face. Y'all book her except when I need her. And I said, just like with that, I said, this is what I want it to look like. This is what it's going to look like. And in 6 months, it was done. Were there obstacles? Were there things that told me no? Yes. I didn't care what it looked like. I only knew a handful of people when I moved up here. It was just the place. My first airplane ride, because I was so scary, was from Houston to Dallas years ago. The people that were sponsoring the trip for me to get here, it was a church, and it was this big, huge praise and worship conference where I was meeting Carrie Job, Israel, the guy who wrote How Great Is Our God, and all those praise and worship leaders. It was one of those kind of conferences, and he's like, it's just better for us just to fly you out there. And that was my first airplane trip. So moving here it's a destiny thing. I'm supposed to be here. And ever since I've been here, everything has worked out. I've manifested the vehicle that I wanted here. I've manifested where I want to stay, and I'm still manifesting things, and things are still unfolding. And I'll be heading back to Houston for my third book. This is an album, and that's a book. So for my third book, I'll be heading back to Houston to do it all again, because my new loctician is there, my stylist, my makeup artist, my photographer, they're all there. So I'll be heading back to Houston for that. But you let me know in the comments what you would like to know more about interpreting dreams. Would you like to know more about how I manifest, and how do I look beyond the circumstances and the situations and just get her done? I can make videos about that. You just let me know. It was time for me to expand as a person. I had been taking care of my father since 2012, and he passed in 2020. So that's how many years? 2012 plus 8. 12 plus 8 is 20. 20, yeah, 8 years. That's when he passed in June. And then that October, I said, I'm leaving here. And in November, I came, like I said, and I spied out everywhere. And I said, Farrah's gonna go to school there since she wants to come with me. My son Jaden, he's gonna do this, and this is where it's gonna be. This is how it's gonna happen. And it has happened. So yes, Dallas is my new home, and I'm very glad to be here. And I was gonna say that I'm not special, but I am special, and so are you. But there's nothing out of the ordinary about me that says I can do it and you can't do it. There will always be pushback. I have learned, and I'm mastering and have mastered, still working, always evolving and growing, on how to just manifest, create my own reality. Was there pushback with all those different aspects? Yes, there was. But I didn't see that. I said he's going to work here because it's convenient for me, and he ended up loving the job. It's convenient for me to take him here and take him there, and she's gonna go to school here. It just all worked out the way that I said it was gonna work out.